Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB. Here live from the Raising Cane studio. It is Tuesday at 9 a.m., so you know we're going to catch up with our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, who joins us now. Nicholas, how you doing, sir?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. Glad to have you on as always as we get closer and closer to the Saints getting to training camp, kicking off the season. It will be here before you know it. There's still, though, some situations for the Saints, some contracts that are currently on the roster that we don't know if they're going to be on the roster, some that potentially still could be added, a guy like Cam Jordan. So a lot to get to, but I wanted to start off with this because I saw an ESPN.com article, and it was talking about the guys that they felt like the top 10 guys to be trade candidates before the trade deadline. And out of all the NFL, all 32 teams, the Saints actually had 2 players on the top 10 list. They had Spencer Rattler and they had Alvin Kamara on the list. So those are the 2 players at ESPN.com. Out of all 32 teams, only 10 players, the Saints had 2. Do you think either one of those players is likely to be moved, and which one would you say is more likely if so?
Oh, that second part of that one's tough. I mean, I think they could both. It wouldn't blow my mind if either one of them got moved right now. I mean, obviously the Alvin thing still remains very weird. Like, he showed up on them, and I thought it was probably the funniest thing that that could have happened. Him just kind of popping up and then back to Miami right after practice, just kind of, hey, I'm here, letting you know. So I think there's a lot to figure out there. It would have to come down to the Saints not wanting him, though, because my understanding of that situation is that he's willing to discuss reduced salary and make something work. And I think he really wants it to work. And I think that's what showing up was showing him that he wanted to do that. My question is, I don't know if there's value there that even makes it make sense, because look, the way they did his contract, it isn't a standard restructure. They use this, and I'm not going to get like into all the weeds, but they used a mechanism that allows his salary to travel if he gets traded, while being able to treat it as if they restructured him. So if they trade him, that whole number goes with him, which I think knocks that value down. Like, if you're paying Alvin's salary and you're just trading the player and somebody else is getting a very productive running back for $1 million, like, maybe you get the 5th round pick. But I think when you're paying him $11.5 million to trade for him, I don't know if there's a lot of music playing for that deal. And I think that's the reason why nothing has happened yet. If they wanted him badly on the team, they would have already figured out the contract. They'd already be talking about it. They haven't had a conversation yet. So I think they're waiting to see if that trade partner shows up. I don't know. With Rattler, man, I think he looks good in this camp. I think you can really see the growth between him and Tyler Shuck. I think Shuck's really kind of put it together. Like, you see the timing and the knowledge and the aggressiveness and the fast decisions. But, I think Spencer looks great too. I think you see him stepping it up. I think he's a guy that's a starter for a team. I think if there was an injury in a camp, I could definitely see him getting traded somewhere. If the Jacoby Brissett thing doesn't work out, I don't know. There's a couple places where I could see him possibly ending up. A great preseason, I think he suddenly becomes available. They brought in Zach Wilson, which I think makes Spencer.
Do you think that's why they brought him in, though, Nick? Like, just in case, hey, we know Spencer, we know he's pretty good, we know there's some teams that would give us something for him. Is that why you bring in Zach Wilson?
I think it's both. I think you see the league trend of, like, the developing everybody, and this is a group of coaches that, like, very, very often are talking about the rest of the league. So I think, they're influenced by what's going on. But I think that's part of it too. Like, if you can get him somewhere, it gives you that backstop, and it gives you more flexibility in that room. There's 2 things here. Like, as a fan of football, I badly want Spencer to get traded because I want to see how the story plays out. Like, I want to see what he can do. If I were running the Saints, I want him on my team. He doesn't cost anything. If my starter goes down, I don't feel terrible about putting him in a game. So it's interesting. But yeah, I think, man, the more likely one to go between the two, I don't know. If like a gun to the head, I might guess Alvin right now
Yeah.
today, because like I think Spencer, like I think some things would have to happen. You got to see a preseason. I think that market would have to firm up some. I think if the Saints figured something out with Alvin's salary, I think Alvin becomes like imminently more movable, and I think he'd have a pretty decent market. I think there's a handful of teams that should want him.
Nick, let me get a vibe check. Where are you at right now?
I'm waiting to go to the dentist, so I card you guys. Yeah.
Well,
I
is that
card
like
you guys.
is that a panoramic moon roof you got on there?
It is, yeah.
Dang,
Yeah, it is.
can't
Yeah,
hide it,
is.
brother. Well,
Yeah.
good job, baby.
Say
Safe.
something for the rest of us.
Yeah.
bud.
Well, way to be safe. Way to buckle up right now.
Wow.
Good work.
Yeah.
I do have a question, just like from a kind of the hot topic in just athletics right now. This situation in Texas Tech with Brendan Sorsby. Give me your thoughts on just the whole. Because in the NFL, it's like supposed to be what college does as well. Pretty cut and dry, a little black and white. You do this, you're done. And it's not happening right now. Just give me your thoughts on what the situation in Texas Tech is.
I think it sucks, man. Like I think the whole thing sucks. Like there has to be some type of like governing body that can say, hey, look, you would he place like almost $1 million in bets or something like that? I can't even remember what the number was, but like it was a big number. I seen like the volume of bets, what he was betting on. I think I saw that. Like, and again, I'm talking out of my ass off of things I saw on Twitter. Like, but I think I saw that he bet the under on 2 games that he was a member of the team, like passing yards and stuff like that. Like, man, that's like, it's just, if you do this, you shouldn't be playing. Like,
Right.
it's really that simple. I guess he would probably just sue the university if the university didn't stand behind him, and then you get an injunction there, maybe. So, like, I don't even know if the university has power, but I would like to see an academic institution. And like, we all know what these things are. And like, I'm not trying to be like, a tight ass or anything like that, but we know what the deal is. Like, it's a charade, but at a certain point, it has to cross the line where the institution is like placing some level of value on integrity. Like,
Right.
if I cheat on a test, I'm getting kicked out of the school. If I gamble on a football game I'm playing in, I should get kicked out of the school. Like, it should be a very obvious thing. I think the whole thing is bad, man. It's LSU's probably gonna have like some dude that was like the 12th guy on the bench for the Knicks, like playing in their tip-off game in basketball. Like, and if there aren't any rules, like stretch it and force them to do it. Like I totally get it, but it is broken, and maybe somebody needs to break it so that it gets fixed. But yeah, there has to be something here, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is like gambling on games is insane. And then like, what are we watching then? Like, how do you try? It's just. It's bad, man. Somebody has to step in and stop this. Like, there has to be some type of punishment for it. And look, you can just walk away and enter the supplemental draft. Like, just do what you got to do. But
It didn't feel like the NFL though was telling him to do that. Almost like the NFL was like, if they're not going to punish you, we will. We'll handle it.
yeah, and like maybe they should, and maybe that's what it should be. But man, it's nasty to me. Like, this is, I don't know. Like, the whole thing sucks, man. Like, I don't like how any of it's going. Like, I think they got to figure something out with like the amount of time someone can transfer and stuff too. Like, it's just like the March tournament. Like, it used to be, if you put the number ones in the Final Four, like you were a dumbass that didn't know anything. And now if you don't put the number ones in the Final Four, you're a dumbass that doesn't know anything. And that kind of sucks as a viewer. Like, I want the players to get paid, but I also like, there has to be something to where, like, man, Michigan State wouldn't happen in today's era. Like, you wouldn't have like Mateen Cleaves and like all these guys building a team, going for it. And that used to be what made it great. So there has to be some axis where everybody's being taken care of, everybody's being paid, everybody's eaten, but it's also just not a bottom feeder system. And there's something where there's still the idea of team and integrity, even if it's like through a veiled charade somehow. But like, we got to find a way to find some balance between the two things. It's swung way too far one direction.
Well said.
Yeah, I am right there with you. And again, I don't think there was very much interest in the supplemental draft because the NFL is like, hey, we're not dealing with that. And if you want to do that, you got to go back to college. All right.
Sorry to ask you a college question. I know you're Saints guy, NFL guy, but pretty relevant. I mean, even into the
Yeah.
into the NFL ranks. So.
Yeah. I do want to ask you though. I mean, every single week, I think I'm going to ask you until we figure out what is what. Cam Jordan, and there's other teams like I've heard Kansas City. So like Chicago with DA, like that makes a lot of sense, and they need a pass rusher as well. Like eventually, there's going to be teams that are going to call Cam Jordan that are not the New Orleans Saints, and that's just the last thing that I want to happen, or anybody wants to happen to see him in a different uniform. Is there an update, buzz around Cam? Is there a standstill that you feel like it's just going to be there until forever? Like, where are we at right now with Cam Jordan?
I think I told you guys, like, they took away one of his lockers. Like, he was one of the guys that had, like, that little corner setup.
Yeah.
And it was the 2 lockers, and he's had the same 2 lockers for a decade plus, and one of them got reassigned. So, I mean, like, that's kind of like oh, damn, like, this is different. Offers on the table, like, he's got to be willing to take it. I don't think they're going to change it. Like, I think all their moves kind of signified that they moved on and built their roster, but the door's still open. And if you want to be here, you can come in. And where does he slot in is the other question. It's a messy thing, man. Like, I don't know. As it stands today, like, I still feel like he eventually ends up coming back, because I think if he was leaving, he'd be leaving. But yeah, I think Kansas City was one that had some buzz. I would be really surprised by a DA Cam reuniting, but I would have been really surprised by Cam and I'm sorry, DA and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson reuniting, and that happens. So if that can be amended, anything can be, any bridge can be amended. But at some point, I don't know, man. Like, does Cam just move on? You look at that pass rusher list, and like how many guys got to start and finish with the same team. Like, there's something special about it that, it's just being sentimental, but I'd love to see him finish his career where it started, and just have it be, not have like the weird zombie jersey that you see. Like, someday you go to like a Eagles game 10 years from now, and like there's someone in a Cam Jordan jersey, and you're like, oh yeah, he played for them. Like, it shouldn't end like that. Like, I hope it gets to end the right way.
How many years has he had that double locker set up?
Man, I got here in 14, and maybe I want to say by 15, 16, like it was kind of Cam's, like, his little corner of the world, but was over there.
I want to say that might be the most telling piece of information that I've heard in this whole Cam Jordan situation.
Yeah. So the one locker's still there, like it's being held. But yeah, I mean, that was the setup, man. Like, Alvin still has his locker; it's still in the same place. He's on the team. There's a locker. There was a locker for Taysom, which I think no longer exists, and then the Cam one's gone. So yeah, that was when I walked in. I was like, oh my god, like they might actually be willing to move on. And if they aren't moving on, like they're sending a message here that, hey, look, new culture, new start, new regime. Like, we aren't having these the mayor of pass rush town anymore. Like, it's a crazy look, man.
I mean, let's be honest.
A new regime,
there's been nothing to point to Cam coming back. It's been the complete opposite. Them trading for an edge rusher during the draft, them signing an edge rusher right after the draft. Every move that they have made, including moving this locker out, has pointed to him not being a New Orleans Saint. Yeah,
I mean, look, I would very easily put Cam ahead of Tyree Wilson if I was stacking a depth chart. But like, what if Tyree Wilson ends up, they're comparable? Like, which way do they go? Do they go with the guy that they feel like they can re-sign and maybe have around for a while? Like, it's an interesting situation. And look, he was down to basically playing first and second down, and that's what Jennings does. So like I said, everything they've done is they've built this to where if he doesn't come back, it doesn't probably swing their reality. And if he does come back, like, they got extra depth there, but it's not a lot of money and not a lot of opportunity. It doesn't look like. It's all very telling, man. And then the locker goes, I think they're fine with whatever outcome happens here. It's hey, we would love to have you here. We'd love to have you finish your career here, but if you don't want to do it on these terms, like, we're good. Like, we're okay over here.
Locker thing's wild to me.
It is wild.
All right, let's move on. But that locker thing, that's some pretty hard-hitting news for me. That means they're definitely okay with moving on. All right, let's go to OTAs a little bit more. Did Jordan Tyson find his socks?
He hasn't practiced yet. Haven't seen him really do anything. He's out there now though. So that's that's something. Like, he's watching the practices now. He wasn't for I don't know what day it was, the second day of rookie camp or whatever. He wasn't out there.
Is this expected? Is this like a little bit, oh man, we should have known?
Well, look, like they're selling it as a ramp up, but here's the thing: the very first day of rookie camp, he practiced fully. So the ramp up was off the ramp, I guess, and then you go down, and now, like, I don't know, man. I could be being too cynical, but to me, it kind of signifies that maybe something, maybe something.
Messaging doesn't really match what they did, right?
Yeah. Which, look, if they're covering it up, good. Like, be smart enough to protect the player.
Covered up, that's right. But ramp up doesn't mean full throttle first day of practice. Then he's going to sit out through OTAs.
Yeah, and guys, and this is the worry. This is like, if he was fully healthy, it's like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. But this is the worry. This was the deal. Like, just not out there, and you're wondering, is he going to practice? Is he going to play? How many is he going to play? So if it was another player, I don't think we'd care. But, Nick, with that being kind of the red flag in the draft process, that's, I think, why you kind of hold your breath.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's kind of, the wound's there, and you're kind of,
Nick's so worried right now, dude. You're so worried.
I'm actually not, though, because, like, it's early, and I like that they at least have a plan and they aren't being dumb about it and they aren't pressing them. We used to see coaching staffs that kind of made, guys with, like, broken ankles go out and play football on those things. So I like the fact that they're smart enough to back off it, but it is 100% the concern. It's the Marshawn Lattimore thing. Like, you got a great player if he stays healthy. He had bad hamstrings that worked out, and you've seen guys they've drafted that have been hurt and never get healthy, and then it's a colossal mistake. The fragility of the wide receiver room is just evident, though, every time you go out there right now. Like, you try to look past it and, like, they got Olave and Tyson. It's a ton of talent. But both those guys could very easily miss a lot of time. And him not practicing is a reminder of that. But yeah, like, Jake, to your point, like, Christian Miller isn't practicing. Like, we aren't really talking about that. Oscar Delp left a practice and was, kind of down the second OTA. We aren't talking about that. It's because of who he is in the history. He's going to be guilty until proven innocent on these injuries. It's just kind of the way it is.
It's going to be something, probably the biggest storyline that we watch during training camp is he going to be out there? How many days is he going to be out there in a row? How many times is he going to sit out?
Saints got some juicy ones.
They do. They do. Between that and AK storyline and where's Cam Jordan and just a lot of situations certainly out there for the Saints. Nicholas, we always appreciate it. Sorry you have to go to the dentist.
Yeah,
but
everything's okay.
Your moonroof looks great. Skies look great.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
All right, our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football. Good enough to join us every single week here on OTB to give us all the latest and greatest when it comes to the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, my God, that moonroof. Gigantic. Front to back, man.
Can't hide money.
Goodness gracious.
I can't really say anything. I got a Jeep that you press a button and it opens up the whole roof.
Well, that's true. It was good skies, though. Perfect cloud
Great
cover.
skies.
The sun wasn't blaring in our eyes.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Good for him.
All right, a couple things to hit on, I think, with the Saints when we come back. We will take a break. Want to remind you about our friends over at K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living before we take that break. K2ZBlinds.com is the website. Have Brandon Barton and the team come out to your space, know your space, learn your space, change your space in a matter of minutes. Sometimes it's inside, sometimes it's outside. Sometimes it's outside, sometimes it's inside, and sometimes it is a combination of both. They will come in and change your space. Trust me, they've done it for me. I lived in my house for 5 years. They came in, knew it better than I did in 15 minutes. That's just who they are. That's why they've been in business since 2004. KTOZBlinds.com. More OTB when we jump back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
I'm not sure what it is. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Says no.
Oh, Russell Pools.
Hey, go to RussellPools.com. RussellPools.com. Russell Pool Company.
Cannonball.
Jackknife. Or whatever you want to do. However you want to jump into the pool. It's going to be an incredible custom pool from Russell Pools because that's just what they do. They build your dream in your backyard, and you're going to dream it up together. They're going to be there throughout the entire process from the very beginning until the very end, and then afterwards, as well, because they can be the maintenance for your pools. Go to russellpools.com.
Yeah, they truly are great to talk with, to work with, to build that dream design. They got 2 landscape architects right there on staff, so they can literally do everything. They can take like what you have in your mind, what you think you might want. They can put it on paper. They can lead you step by step the entire way. They are the name you think of when you think of the highest quality custom pools in Louisiana. That's russellpools.com.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show, presented by Community Steel.
My girl's a little bit older. I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends.
All right, welcome back in. OTB, our Tuesday shows. Brought to you by Community Steel, communitysteelco.com. Right here in Gonzales, Louisiana, servicing the entire greater Baton Rouge area. Really South Louisiana.
You're talking about that Louisiana steel?
Yeah, we ain't talking about that fake stuff, though.
Ain't talking about that Chinese steel?
Talking about that real steel.
About that Indian steel.
That's right. Communitysteelco.com.
I don't even want that Alabama steel.
Of course not. I did find it interesting that ESPN article, like out of the entire NFL, it only had 10 players that they highlighted that could be traded, and 2 of them were for the New Orleans Saints. And Spencer Rattler is an interesting one. You do sign Zach Wilson in case this happens, because I think you believe in him as a player. And there was flashes last year of him being capable in the NFL. And I am surprised a team like the Jets hasn't called the Saints about a Spencer Rattler. I kind of hope he doesn't. I don't.
Did you hear
I don't
Nick?
want him to
Like,
go to the
did you hear?
Jets.
Did you see Nick talking about him? He wanted to say he's actually that Spencer's like probably looking the best out there. He's not by any like. Don't take that the wrong way,
Yeah.
but he's going into year 3. It's like he's just saying he looks really good at practice. I think he should be traded. Somebody should trade for him.
Yeah.
I think there's enough out there. I think there's plenty of good tape to go out there to look around. And look, coaches talk, scouts talk. They know, like, someone like the Jets, I don't want him to go to the Jets.
No.
I'd rather him, like, wait till somebody gets hurt than go to the, I don't know, the Niners.
The Lions.
The Lions.
Because the Niners have Mac.
He'd probably really be, he'd be really good in Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
He kind of fits that mold,
Yeah.
I think. Anyway.
And then Alvin Kamara would be the other player on the list, as we talked about there. And so the write-up talks about it. It actually says the Saints' beloved veteran turns 31 in July and posted career lows in touches and scrimmage yards in 2025. New Orleans also gave big money to Travis Etienne in free agency and has a crowded running back room that includes Kendre Miller, Andre Gasame, and Ty Chandler. Kamara has 1 year left on his contract, which has been amended so many times it's difficult to truly assess the size of the assets there and the dead money burden New Orleans will take on whenever he's gone. That's very New Orleans to have a contract that's confusing even for an NFL writer. I don't know at this point. Like, I can see a backfield with both of them. I can see a backfield that has both those players and a backfield that actually thrives because they have both those players.
Yep.
I don't think you give Alvin Kamara away for peanuts. What's the point? Why? And what's a team willing to give up for a 31-year-old running back? Probably not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So in this scenario with these 2 players, I would actually say Spencer Rattler would be the more likely to be traded.
Yep.
Because you have Tyler Shuck, your young quarterback that you drafted a year ago, and then you sign a former top 5 pick in Zach Wilson in case, break glass in
Yep.
case of emergency.
Yep.
So he's the one that would have more value, and you have people in place on both sides that you've kind of, you sign a Zach Wilson in case you move a Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking about this Alvin Kamara and Cam Jordan situation. Both mean a lot to the organization. Both mean a lot to the fan base. I'm sure a lot to the ownership.
Yeah.
And they are in similar situations, but in some cases, to me, like complete opposite situations. Like Kamara, they have a place for Kamara. They have a place for Cam Jordan. Great. If you're on our team, awesome. We'd love to have you. For Kamara, you're going to have to make us an offer we can't refuse. But we're okay with that. We got a plan. Make us an offer we can't refuse. On the other side of things, for Cam Jordan, they've made him an offer that he can refuse, right?
Yeah.
And that's the situation. Now, I think they would like to have, and they would probably say, leaning towards, we want to have you on the team.
Yeah.
But they're definitely saying, we don't need you on the team.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're 100% saying that.
Yes.
But to go back to your question on the trade, yeah, I would think from those two pieces and just basically based on different contract situations with Kamara, like the most likely to be traded would probably be Rattler. Now, I would lean on Nick Underhill's expertise, but he didn't really know how to answer the question either. He just kind of like, he said Kamara just because we put a gun to his head there.
That was his words.
But I think that something always happens in training camp, right? There's with injuries, with different teams.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy they thought was going to be the dude turns out to be a dud. And I would think that if somebody's going to make a trade for a quarterback, Spencer Rattler would be up there because you look around the league. We talked about the list of backup quarterbacks yesterday. How many of those guys are young guys that you can get for a cheap price? I'm sure there's a lot of teams that if they get hurt, they'd love to trade for Joe Flacco. But, like, are you going to trade? Like, what are you trying to do? You trying to put a Band-Aid on something or get someone that potentially could stick around for a handful of years? So I think that he would at least be in that conversation. I think he's proven it. I think other coaches that he played against on other teams, the messaging that they gave to the media were like, this guy's good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're not winning, and that's the problem. They didn't make the plays when he needed to down the stretch, and that's the reason why he got benched, right? But there's going to be a place for him at some point.
Yeah.
Now, does he take advantage of that situation? Does he take advantage of that opportunity? That remains to be seen.
Right.
But you just listen to what Nick Underhill said about him at OTAs right now. Like, there's a spot for him in the National Football League.
And to give you the full list real quick before we take a break, the list of the 10 players that ESPN.com could see moved before the trade deadline. Max Crosby, of course, Vegas, he's already been traded. It fell through. Kayshon Boutte actually falls on this list as well. James Conner, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, Spencer Rattler, Josh Sweat, Alvin Kamara, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Mac Jones.
Kyle Pitts is interesting to me.
Well, he's on the franchise deal right now, franchise tag.
Right.
So
he finally kind of showed the promise that was promised to everybody, right?
Yeah.
This past season.
Mac Jones is an interesting one too, just because he did play really well for the Niners last year. What is
he on the list? Is he's got to be?
He's just on it. I mean,
I would
it's not like ranked one.
It's not ranked. Okay, I would think that if you are looking to trade, if you're a friend, let's just say the Jets. Something happens to Geno Smith.
Yeah.
In preseason, if you're looking to trade for a young quarterback, is Mac Jones one? Maybe Spencer two. I'm talking about guys that could be potentially available, backup guys. The way Mac Jones played last year, Mac Jones won.
Yeah.
As far as trading for quarterbacks, would you agree with that statement?
I think so.
Now Spencer can add a little bit more with his legs and his feet and escapability.
Right.
That sometimes you want in a emergency style type of position.
I mean, Mac Jones completed 70% of his passes last year. And
I almost
started
put him in the
8
top
games.
10 at one point when he did it like 3 weeks in a row. I didn't, but almost.
And so they get a valuable asset for sure. Never thought I'd say that.
You almost said valuable ass.
I don't know. He looks kind of frumpy in his uniform. All right, we'll take a break. More OTB when we come back on the other side.
Off the bench.
All right, go see our friends over at Pelican Roofing. PelicanRoof.com is the website in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, boots on the ground in both locations. They are there for you. They're always doing something major in the local community. Check out all the different things, Mother's Day roof giveaway, Veterans Day roof giveaway, Run with Rufus they do every year because community means something to them. We know what they are in the roofing game. Repair, replacement, first time you're putting a roof on your home or business. We know that. That's not just us saying that. That's all the 600 plus 5-star reviews right there on the homepage as well. But They want to make sure they're always doing things in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge. Remember, locations in both, boots on the ground in both. Go to pelicanroof.com today.
That's right. If you get Pelican Roof to do one of your roofing projects, if you're putting on a new roof, if you're replacing a current roof that's just a little bit old, well, guess what? They are going to dedicate a project manager to your job, to your home, to your roof, and only your roof until it is finished. To make sure that it's done the Pelican way, make sure it is done the right way. The most trusted roofing company in all of Louisiana, specializing in roof repairs and roof replacements. Go check them out right now. PelicanRoof.com.
See them walking hand in hand across the bridge at midnight.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show, presented by Community Seal.
Then walk right out to the fall line track. There's a camera rolling on her back. On her back. And that sister rhythm humming in a frenzy all the way down her spine. Girls on film. Girls on film. Girls on film. Girls on film.
All right, welcome back here off the bench. Hey, talking to the break here. I know a lot of hot goss out there, a lot of juicy content with this Brendan Sorsby fella. You reading up on him, Alondra? What'd you find out?
Yeah, I am. People probably maybe already knew this, but we were talking earlier. Also, did you say Brent Sorsby?
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's okay.
No, I said Brent. Did I? What did I say?
I don't know.
I said it started with a B.
It's okay. I said Mississippi State instead of
Brandon.
Ole Miss earlier. Yeah, just reading a little bit more about Brendan Sorsby, and earlier in the show, if you missed it, we were talking about it, and we were talking about like how does Texas Tech not do their due diligence and still go get Brendan Sorsby, knowing that he was gambling, and then it's like you could play devil's advocate and be like, oh well, maybe they didn't know, but Cincinnati was notified about Brendan Sorsby gambling back in August of 2025. So I feel like that's something maybe you should have known if you're Texas Tech. Definitely knew it at Cincinnati, and Cincinnati decided not to do anything about it either. But this was something that has been being looked at since at least August 2025. And if I had to guess, it was before that, because there's no way that it might have been while he was at Indiana that they were already looking at his stuff.
I remember when it first came out, everyone said Cincinnati could potentially be in trouble for this because a lot of people believed that they did know and let him play anyways. So, like, yeah, my earlier point, too damn bad, Texas Tech. You didn't do your due diligence for whatever reason. A lot of people knew this was out there. You didn't. You screwed up. Sorry, you lose $5 million. Is what it is. Do better research.
Yeah, but they
next time.
didn't know. They didn't come out until after he was there, right?
What the
Like, not even Cincinnati.
maybe
So
not.
Texas Tech. So like I don't know if Cincinnati told Texas
Right.
Tech about Brendan Sorsby being a gambler, or I don't know if somehow Texas Tech knew that before they got him, but definitely after, in April, is when Texas Tech was notified about it. So Cincinnati for sure knew. Who knows what sort of communication Texas Tech had with them, but they were notified in April, and that's obviously when everything started to kind of unravel. But what kind of bothers me about this is how his lawyer, like his attorney, it feels kind of arrogant and just kind of like just very annoying, because they're trying to make him seem like he's a victim here.
Very much so.
And
That's their job, though. A little
yeah,
bit,
no,
right?
I
Which
understand that,
does
but
kinda
like,
stink.
I get it, but also like, I think if you truly have a gambling addiction, which I think Brendan Sorsby did have, I think that's sad for sure. But you weren't going to check yourself into rehab if Texas Tech didn't tell you that you had to. Like,
Because you've been doing it.
well, because they were like, yeah, because you've been doing it, and they're like, okay, let's put you in rehab, and then we're going to make it this excuse that you're a gambling addict and that you have anxiety. And so because you have anxiety, the NCAA has to give you more eligibility and let you play because this is going to be detrimental to your mental health and like whatever. Like they're just trying to make him sound like he's mentally ill. And maybe he is, but like I just don't think that because you're a gambling addict that you should be given more room to make mistakes than the average person.
Right, and well, and to your point, to take it a step further, does Texas Tech even want to put him in rehab if the NCAA doesn't figure it out?
Exactly.
Like, are they truly trying to help him, or are they like, hey, we're going to send you to a 30-day rehab program? Yeah, get out of here with that crap.
I mean, even if you are, okay, and I get it, there is addiction out there everywhere. And addiction, if you know somebody or have suffered with yourself, it's a sad thing. It can be a very sad thing. But, like, the gambling addiction situation is, I'm sorry, you broke the rules.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's still a rule at the end of the day.
It's still a rule at the end of the day. We get it. We get all the help you want.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great career.
Right.
I do. I hope you play for 55 years in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you have an awesome one. But, like, you broke our rules.
Yeah.
And if, like, we don't enforce something on these rules, then everything's going to crumble around us.
Yeah.
And we can't make the excuse because you had a gambling addiction. And addiction is also something that people can use as an excuse. And that's why you don't know. Like, you never know when it's actually a problem with somebody. Or not, or it's just an excuse.
He is getting punished. He's not playing against Abilene Christian, Matt.
Or Oregon State.
I mean, come on, dude.
That's on me.
This quote specifically from the lawsuit is what really irritated me. Quote, instead of exercising compassion, the NCAA has responded with silence, repeated information demands, and delay. The NCAA's response reflects a self-protective bureaucracy that has abandoned its professed commitment to student-athlete well-being, and that ignores the contractual and legal obligations it owes to student-athletes, which I could argue that the NCAA, yes, for sure, being a little self-protective here, but I think that you are kind of looking out for the student-athlete's well-being because you're like, hey, you're not allowed to do this. I'm going to punish you for it. Right, exactly.
Like if your kid does something wrong, you have to punish him for it.
Yeah.
You can
They
say,
cannot. You can't. But it is bad for them in the long run if you let them get away with things.
Yeah.
you could say, oh, well, the NCAA is not looking into the best interest of the student athlete. I
yeah, you are.
disagree.
You
Look,
are.
I don't know the character of Brendan Sorsby. I'm not accusing him of anything, but if he can get away with this, what happens when he's done playing football and he goes out and maybe breaks a law? Potentially. That could happen.
Yeah.
And he's not going to get away with that. He's like, wait a minute. I only got a slap on the wrist for this my entire life. Why am I all of a sudden trying to face the real world? I just think it has the opposite effect.
I would agree with you. It has the opposite. Like, not only you're not looking out for the betterment of college athletics or the kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, like, now if you're a college athlete, you have to be thinking, hell, I can do whatever I want.
Y'all, I'm addicted to speeding.
Not only that.
I can do, yeah.
What
I can do
about-
whatever I want.
what
It
about
doesn't
I'm addicted
matter.
to going
What
fast.
about the parents of a lot of these players?
Yeah.
They probably think we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Everybody around them. And of course, like all these coaches now, these coaches that are even like I'm not trying to say like there's probably coaches out there that don't want to take advantage of the system. They want the betterment of college football. They want that high academia that like the kids to get an education. They want it to be a little bit more similar to what it used to be. It'll never be that. We get it. But they want to hold it in a high regard, a high standard because they have high respect for college athletics.
Right.
But even they have to be like, okay, to be able to compete and keep my job,
Yeah.
like
I got to
we
bend
have
the
to
rules
push
a little.
we have to push the envelope a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, how do you do that? Coaches are now, and then you got some on the opposite end. They're like, I just want to do it all the time, right?
Right.
You're gonna have that everywhere. But like, how are these rules they're gonna continue to push the limits. They're gonna continue to push the limits until somebody gets made an example.
This is another really annoying quote.
Somebody will get made an example at some point, hopefully.
Yeah. This is another really annoying quote in the suit. Time is of the essence, the filing states. This is Mr. Sorsby's last year of collegiate eligibility, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that once lost can never be recovered. Okay, well, he's done it at 2 other schools, so I wouldn't call it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Also, like, if this was his last year of collegiate eligibility and he didn't want to lose that last year of eligibility, you shouldn't have done the one thing that's going to get you permanently banned. I mean, it's not the one thing, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, it's one of the biggest.
it's the biggest thing that, like, do not bet on your own team.
Yeah.
Y'all said it at the beginning of the show. They would bring people in, and the two things they told you were, I forgot the first one.
Don't
but
talk
like,
to an agent.
Don't talk to an agent, and don't gamble.
Yeah.
It is so easy to follow those two rules. I mean, well, now you can talk to agents, but it's so
Yeah.
easy to not bet on your own team or even gamble. And I get people are going to make the argument of like, well, all the ads and like we're sitting here talking about sports and then we'll tell you about DraftKings. I get that.
Yeah.
But like, just follow the one rule.
You can bet.
We can gamble.
You can
Follow
bet.
the one rule.
You can bet on whatever the hell you want. It just can't be your team.
Well, two
Hey,
things.
can't be-
One,
should be your
now,
sport.
if they
Your
have that
sport.
competition with athletes at all, they're going to say, they're telling me not to do this, but I can do it. Brendan Sorsby did it. I don't care. I'll get away with it. I'll still bet on my own team.
doubt.
Also, I never understood the argument of, well, all the ad dollars they're making on. Okay, so why do you get to bet on it as a player? You get the privilege of playing college football. In return, you don't get to bet on your own team. We don't get the privileges. We don't get the millions of dollars in NIL. But you know what? We get to bet on the team. It's a give and take. I've never understood the argument of, well, all these sports betting companies are making money off the backs of these players. Yeah, that's kind of how life works. Sorry.
So what?
There's
But
give and
it's the
take in
players,
everything.
Yeah.
That's every business.
Right.
We were told
It's
as players
not fair that people under 18 can't gamble.
everybody, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how good you are. Tom Brady was told this. The game doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah.
The game that you play will exist after you're done, after you retire, after you die, everything. The game will be there. You will not. It does not owe you anything. What's happening now in college sports is people now think the game owes them something,
Yeah.
and it
Agreed.
doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Sorensen,
Like, you think you're
you
owed-
made some good plays, but like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
You think you're owed a big contract
Yeah,
your first year out of school.
yeah, and because everybody's told them how great they were.
Yeah. Sorry, Brendan. You broke
Sorry,
a rule.
you broke the
Like the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. Cannot do it. It is
I'm
like
so sorry that this
one of the
once, this once in a lifetime opportunity was quote unquote taken away from you.
You know who else says
because
that?
you bet.
You know who else has heard attorneys say that? Prisoners.
Yeah.
Well, and
Criminal defense
people
attorneys.
say, oh, well, his life's potentially over. No, it's not. He's a young guy. He's in college.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants in life. You know what he
Also-
can't do? He can't play for Texas Tech
He'll
this
be
year.
fine.
That's the only thing he can't do.
You still got a little under 2 weeks to go into the supplemental draft.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Or play in Canada. A lot of different opportunities.
You can go on vacation
Tiger
for a
Cats,
year with all your
studs.
winnings.
Could be the next Bo Levi Mitchell.
That's one thing we don't know if he won.
We don't know if he won. If he did win, I mean, what's the problem?
Anything. Won any money?
Yeah,
there.
what's the
All right. We'll step away one final time. I want to tell you about our friends over at Rouse's before we do that, because right now you can go check out the breakfast bar we always tell you about. A little bit later on, you can check out the lunch bar, the sushi bar, the salad bar, rotisserie chickens. They've always got something that's convenient for you, pre-made meals ready to go. So if you got a big family like me, you're running a little bit late because you had ball field duties, you had dance duties, whatever situation might be, well, you run in, you grab the meal. It's a great meal, ready to go, easy for you. And they've got all of that at Rouse's. Go to Rouse's.com to find a location that is most convenient for you. They've got local there as well. Always going to have local products. They have their own local products there as well. You can pick up My High, popsicles and
Hello.
My High to
Perfect
add to your
hydration.
water. Perfect
Hello.
hydration. Go check
hot.
it out. Rouses.com. Well, it's hotter than hot. It's miserable. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Off the bench. Off the bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Tuesday show presented by Community Steel.
All right, welcome back in. Always remind you about our friends over at GoTommys.com, G-E-A-U-X, TommysWithAY.com, Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, where you'll clearly see the difference. Award-winning work over at Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Tommy!
I was wondering where you were. Just know that you're going to get the best work with the best customer service as well. A former member of the Golden Band from Tigerland. Tommy is LSU through and through. He's South Louisiana through and through. He's going to be there for your project as well. Go to GoTommy's, GEAUX, Tommy's with a Y.com, where again, you will clearly see the difference. All right, hashtag Ask the Bench brought to you by Ice Cold Dos Equis.
Excuse me. Can I
love Dos
ask you a
What?
question?
Just wanted him to make the.
Oh.
Did you ever get an answer from Lacey about did she see The Outsiders?
Oh, yeah. She said, no. Should we read it?
Yes, you should.
Don't.
Absolutely, you should.
Are you just going to make her read it out loud to you?
Yeah.
Like an audiobook.
Right before bed.
I started
You get a
reading
chapter
The
a
Lion,
night.
the Witch, and the Wardrobe to the kids last night.
Which is actually a really good book. It's on my mantle right now.
You should hear me read it. Lots of English.
Hashtag
accents.
Ask the Bench. Do you prefer to read from a physical book or read a digital version?
I've never read a digital version of anything.
They don't have digital pop-up books, so I'll go physical version.
Yeah, I never understood like the Kindle thing.
Nah.
Part of like the beauty of reading a book is holding the book,
Right.
turning the page,
Yeah.
not clicking the screen.
And seeing how many pages you've
With that being
read
said, I prefer an audiobook.
Yeah, same.
With that being said, I prefer the movie when it comes out.
Hashtag favorite book ever besides the Bible. The Outsiders, of course. We love you. Go America.
Off the bench.
All right, we've been telling you over the last couple of days that Ochsner has an incredible orthopedic clinic right there next to Elite Training Academy on Burbank. And the thing that is very cool about having it, and when I say like it's a full orthopedic clinic, they can, any kind of sports injury that is going to be your sprains, your strains, your minor dislocations, even ACL tears can be handled right there. They have on-site x-rays and there's no appointment needed. Walk-ins are welcome. You can walk in today or learn more at ochsner.org/brortho. That is the website, Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, right there next to Elite Training Academy on Burbank. Again, ochsner.org/brortho.
Yeah, and they got locations all over the Gulf South. So from routine checkups, world-class specialty care, Ochsner's doctors, nurses, and specialists are here for you and your family right here at home. No matter what you need, just stay healthy for the ones that you love right over there. Ochsner, every patient, every day.